Good morning, everyone. I think in today's session, one of the most difficult or supposedly the most difficult area in an exam called CAT uh, is is in front of us. I'm going to in the next 45 minutes to 1 hour explain to you how and why Quant can become one of the strength areas for every one of you who is attending. In fact, for everybody who writes CAT. The idea of today's session, as somebody has been asking, what is the agenda, is going to be twofold. One, understanding how do you go about preparing an area like Quant? What do you prepare for? Finally, at the end of the day, the CAT exam gives you certain types of questions. So how do you go about preparing so that when you enter the CAT exam, nothing in that exam looks like Greek and Latin, unless of course you are a Greek and Latin expert. Two, we also look at what should I do in that 55-60 minutes that is available in the quant section when you are writing the CAT exam. Okay, so that is going to be the basic agenda for this session. My name is ARKS Srinivas. I am the CEO of VistaMind Education. VistaMind has been in the CAT preparation for the last 3 years, but the directors of VistaMind, 5 of us who are all IIMs and XLRI grads, have been training for CAT for the last 15 plus years, and this is probably the 15th year for almost every one of them. Okay, so more about this later. What I think is, I'm going to start off with what the basic agenda would be in that sense. Before we start, I'm sure all of you know that this year the CAT exam is going to be most probably conducted on one single day. Now, the only positive aspect of that one single day is there will be no problems with normalization. Like I was talking to my students yesterday in Jayanagar, it's almost possible that the CAT authorities, the IIMs, can give you exactly the same paper for both the sessions because one ends, the other starts. There is very little time between the first and the second in that sense. Most probably they will still give you 2 different papers, but will be very, very close to its difficulty level. Hence, if whatever little problems were there last year about normalization will also go out of the window. The second point that was made in this about the CAT paper this year is that the IIMs want more diversity. Now, I don't understand this concept at all, because if more than 1.5 lakh or 1,20,000 people who write the exam are engineers, you automatically will get more engineers getting into the IIMs. The idea of diversity is a very good idea, where the IIMs and all the MBA institutes should encourage the BBA, BCom, BA, BSc, such kind of BCA kind of guys to be to ensure that those people get into the bandwagon of management. Those of you are not able to hear clearly, by the way, I'm recording this also, so keep that in mind, don't worry. So, by making the paper more easy in quant, because quant is difficult for supposedly BCom guys, doesn't make sense. However, we will wait and see for if there is a pattern kind of things. But let me tell you one thing, whether we like it or not, the basic ingredients in the CAT exam won't change. There will be quant, there will be data interpretation, there will be logical ability, reasoning, there will be verbal ability and reading comprehension, come what may. They are not going to suddenly give you genetics in your exam. They will not. There could be a paragraph on genetics and reading comprehension, all right, but it is not going to change, or they're not going to ask you mechanical engineering subject suddenly in the CAT paper. The fact that anybody can write CAT who have finished their graduation or in the final year of graduation, anybody, when I'm saying a doctor, a B pharma guy, a B architecture guy, BTech of course, and a BA, BSc, BCom law guys, if anybody can write, there has to be certain things which has to be such has to be common with all these people so that they can write this exam CAT and get into an MBA or an IIM, right? In other words, the only common thing for all these graduates, all kinds of graduates in the world, forget about in India, is the 8th, 9th, 10th class of basic aptitude of both quant, data interpretation, and English, of course. So let me be clear about it. While the CAT pattern may change, the basic ingredients do not change. It has not changed for 20 years. I don't think it will change the next 20. However, preparation for quant and DI also does not change whatever the pattern. If DI will be required, quant will be required. What may change is the strategy of writing the exam. If there are less questions in quant, the way you will write the exam will be different from how if there are more questions from quant. On July 26th, that is about a month from today, we will get to know the actual pattern of the exam. But you can't change you can wait till July 26th to start your preparation. So I am going to take up this seminar with the assumption that there is no change in the section 1 pattern of the CAT paper. If there is a change, we can do a little tinkering somewhere around the end of exam, at the end of July, so that if we need to tinker with the strategy of writing the exam, we can do that. Okay, so that's the plan for today. What is the agenda? As somebody is saying, what is the agenda? The agenda, friends, is in section 1, can I get 99 percentile? We will do a verbal section of this also, but today I am going to completely talk about that Betanwa, BT Neuer, if you write it, Betanwa called Quant. And with this Quant itself, can you target 99 plus percentile? That's the agenda, and I'm sure you can do it. To get this agenda right, I'm going to talk about very quickly what are the scores required to get the kind of percentiles. I'm going to start off with the CAT 2014 paper, give you an overview of that. Then we talk about how do I crack this 100 plus score out of the 150 marks available in the QADA section. I'm not going to touch upon data interpretation today. We'll speak about the preparation plan for CAT for the next 100 days, maybe 120 days. Remember, today we are talking about June 1st. The exam could be on November 15th. So you have almost 140 days available. So we will talk about the preparation plan. But more importantly, we'll also talk about, in the last segment of my discussion, strategy for attempting the quant section of the paper. You may be brilliant. You may know everything about every question that you can attempt in quant. But if your way of writing the exam is wrong, if your attempting the exam is wrong, you will not make it. I'm not trying to scare anybody away, but the point I'm trying to make is, even if you have 70% of the knowledge, 80% of the knowledge of the area, but if you know the perfect strategy for attempting the quant area, chances are you will get much more marks than a person who is really 100% good at quant but has a bad strategy in the quant exam. So this area is also going to be very important for us in our discussion today. First, let's look at the actual CAT paper what was there in 2014. Okay, so those of you who have joined, those of you who have looked at the CAT 2014 and know about it, here is what it was. The CAT exam has been an online exam, so to say, or a computer-based exam right from 2009. In 2014, it was held across 2 different dates in 4 slots. The total number of questions were 100, with section 1 giving you 50 questions and section 2 giving you 50 questions. Within section 1, out of the 50, 35 of them were quantitative area. We will talk about what is quantitative area, and 15 of them were data interpretation. Similarly, in section 2, the verbal ability area, there were 20 questions. Reading comprehension were 15 questions. Reasoning were 15 questions. Total time available to solve this paper was 170. While I have put the time here as 85 in minutes, but you can also see that chances are for lots of people, depending on the student's strength and weakness, you can give maybe 90 minutes to section 1 and 80 minutes to section 2, or vice versa, maybe plus or minus 5 minutes on both sides. Okay, so this was the CAT section, CAT paper last year. Very high chances that it will remain same. Maybe the paper may continue to be easier like it was last year. Okay, so let's look at what was the percentiles required, or what are the scores required in section 1 and section 2 to get the 99 percentiles last year. Again, I said there are only two possibilities that I expect. One, the paper will remain similar to what was last year in terms of the difficulty level, or it just might become a little bit, wee bit more difficult than last year. I do not expect it to be too difficult at all. In fact, we are reworking on some of our smart cats, which are our mark cats, to reflect the levels of difficulty of what we expect in CAT 2015 also. Okay, so these are the scores of last year and percentiles that one would get depending on the scores. As you can see here, you will see that at 100 marks, if you get in this section, you will get 97.5 percentile. Last year, out of 150 marks, if one had got 100 marks, that's 66%. 66%, you would have got 97.5 percentile in the exam. Mind you, 150 by 2 is 75. At 75, while I have not put it here, but if you can see here, at 75 marks, your percentile will be 90. At 75 marks, your percentile could be as high as 90. And I was talking about 99 percentile, another 3 questions more. Every question gives you 3 full marks. Another 3 questions, your percentile will be 99 if you are reaching 100. That's about 70% of the mark, and that's all we are talking about. You can also see that if you get 120 out of 150, you are going to be more than 99 percentile. So here is the plan for it. How do I get that 100 marks? How do I get that 110 marks? You need to, when you are starting preparation, I'm assuming that you are starting preparation today. If you have already prepared for it, friends, I am extremely glad. If you have already started your preparation for CAT, great. But I am assuming that all of you who are there right now, not all of you have started preparing in that sense of the word. Or even if you have prepared, it has been an intermittent 1 week, 1 day, something you have done. And of course, it's not been a consistent effort. I understand that. That is exactly what happens year after year till you reach July. Once July comes in, everybody who is serious about the IIMs, everybody who is serious about an MBA and CAT starts becoming jittery, starts preparing seriously. So if you have not started your preparation one jot, start today. You have enough time for it. This is something which I have been telling to my students all the last 15 years. All it requires is that you need a bit of consistency in your preparation. I'm going to go to the nitty gritty of how many hours you need to prepare to get what you want to get also. That is the purpose of this seminar too. Okay, so here you can see clearly. Now, if you understand that if you had 100 in both, you get 200, you're going to get into almost all IIMs. This I am talking about if you are a general category student. If you are, let's say, a OBC student, you will get calls at 97%. That means at 170, 160 marks, you will get the scores. Get all the IIM calls probably. And if you are an SC or an ST, chances are that even at 80 scores or 100 scores of the total overall score, please remember OA is overall, you will be able to crack, including IIM Ahmedabad. Now, please understand that if there are 13 IIMs already and new ones like IIM Nagpur and Sirmaur are starting this year, there is a Visakhapatnam starting sooner, there are a couple of 3 more starting, there is an FMS, there are IITs, there are IMTs and the IMIs of the world. Getting into a top class MBA has become really easy, provided you get in there. Please understand that still about 1.5 lakh or 2 lakh people write the exam. Still, even if there are, if the competition is with 1.5 lakh people maybe, but I don't think the competition is with that 1.5 lakh people. I strongly believe that the competition that you're going to face is with probably the top 20,000 people. And there are about 10,000 seats in the top 40 institutes. 10,000 seats. In fact, IIMs alone are close to 5,000 seats. Add all of them, it will be easily 10,000 seats. Which means to say, you need to be 1 in every 2 people who is seriously preparing for the CAT exam. If on a wonderful Sunday morning, if you are attending the session, count yourself in the top 20,000. Now you need to beat just 1 guy extra. Of course, what I'm saying is, of course, there could be collaborative beating also with everybody else. But understand this, that look, if you are really serious about it, getting a 97.5 percentile to 99 percentile in quant, I'm not going to discuss other things right away, but I can tell you for sure that you can do it other areas also, is going to be a cinch. Trust me on that, and let's go forward about what do I do to get this 100%, 99 percentile or 100 marks in the exam. Here is my preparation plan for the quant strategy. First, divide the quant area into 6 sub areas. I'm also going to talk about the weightages in CAT for these 6 sub areas. Arithmetic, we'll talk about what is there in arithmetic in a moment. Will give you 15 to 20%. Numbers and number theory is again 15 to 20% of the questions. Remember, there are 35 questions in the section, in that quant area. Out of 35 questions, anything between 5 to 7 questions will be arithmetic. 5 to 7 questions will be numbers. It will be more than that, in fact. Algebra. We'll talk about what is algebra very, very quickly. Easily about 8 to 11 questions will be algebra. Piyush, I am sure you have raised your hand. Just hang on, keep your question alive till I finish the next 30 minutes. Ask these questions after you've finished. Geometry and mensuration. It's again about 5 to 7 questions you can easily expect in the quant area out of the 35 that comes in. Remember, I am giving it in terms of percentage. It will be same if the number of questions is 35. If it reduces to 25 or it goes up to 50, you will find that the percentages that I'm giving you will always be same. Then pure mathematics, probability, permutations and combinations, functions and graphs. It could be easily 2 to 3 questions or 2 to 4 questions even. And there will always be questions in quantitative ability where it will not really fit in with any of these areas, but more like logic questions, intuitive questions, if I may use the word. 2 to 3 questions almost always come in that area. They are standard questions which have come before and which will continue to come every year after year after year. So dividing quant into 6 subsections, you will know how do you plan these 6, how many days you should give for each of the subsections also. One very important thing to understand here is that, look, you cannot leave out any area. Every area is important. Every question is important, therefore. If you want 100 marks, there is no way you can leave out any area, sub-area in that sense of the word. Second, do not go into the exam with any area unprepared. Please remember, in fact, I will discuss this with you about the way the IIMs give the paper itself. IIMs give you easy questions. IIMs give you medium level difficult questions. IIMs give you in the CAT paper very difficult questions also. They are not trying to make you mathematicians. They are not checking for mathematicians or great grammarians. What they are trying to look at is, given the resources, that is your time, that is whatever time that is available, given your knowledge resource, how do you maximize your score given easy, medium and difficult questions? It is that strategy you need to look at. It is not, in fact, I can tell you, if those of you who are, engineers here who are listening to me, or mathematics guys, supposedly mathematics guys, you need to shed your ego. You need to shed your ego to ensure that you will not look at a question saying that, oh, why can't I get it? But you will look at it as, if I can't get it right now, no problem, I'll skip it, I'll go to the next level kind of things. Srinivas, one other question, if just confirm to me whether there is any problem with audio breaking, etc. kind of things. Couple of people have messaged me saying that possibly there is an audio break. Just check if it is happening, because when I see it on my screen, I'm not finding it at all. Okay, the only reason why it probably will be audio breaks for others is that their bandwidth is going up and down. My apologies for your problems, but then that's okay. Please listen to me. I'm sure you will be. That's the reason I've made sure that the PPT is also quite a bit self-explanatory, so that just in case you miss one or two words, it comes in very easily. Okay, so next look at this. This is the subdivision of areas into topics. Arithmetic, there are 6 topics. Equations, ratio, proportion, variation, ERPV as I call it. Percentages, I am using percentages as a separate topic itself. Profit and loss, simple interest and compound interest, that is SICI. AMA, averages, mixtures and alligation. Time and work, and time, speed, distance. I'll also tell you one thing, guys. To be good in your arithmetic area, what you need to be really good in is these 2 areas. If you are good in percentages, if you are good in your ratios, if you are good in your percentages, if you are good in your ratios, my bet is you will be good in all the other 5 topics that I have put up. Of course, there are small concepts in each of these. You can work on it. If you ask me, the maximum concepts, if there are there in numbers and geometry and mensuration. In all other areas, every topic has 2 or 3 concepts. To give you an idea, percentage and profit and loss. Profit and loss has only 2 concepts. It's about profit and loss as such as an area, or you have a concept of successive discounts or successive increase in percentages, etc. kind of things. Everything else, in fact, actually P&L has only one formula, that is percentage increase, percentage decrease, to be honest with you. Simple interest, compound interest has only 2 concepts. What is simple interest? What is compound interest? Averages, mixtures, alligation has only 2 concepts. What is an average? What is a weighted average? Time and work has 2 concepts probably. Time, speed and distance has actually 4 concepts slightly. The normal distance is equal to speed into time, average speed, relative speed, and races, circular races kind of things. One other area probably you will have a little more than what you want is P&C area, which has 3 or 4 more concepts extra. But if you ask me, if you really go dig deep into these areas like arithmetic or algebra, you will see that each area is about 2-3 concepts exploded into mini concepts. That's the beauty of arithmetic, that's the beauty of quantitative ability. Please remember, we are not discussing mathematics. It is quantitative ability, not mathematics. Mathematics will have a lot of areas: calculus, vector algebra, trigonometry, etc. Whatever trigonometry that we are putting is absolute basic trigonometry that is required. Absolute basic trigonometry. So once you know that these are the topics, this is the syllabus for your exam. This is the syllabus for your exam. So you will have to pick area by area, topic by topic, concept by concept, and become better in it. We have more than 100 days for it. There are not so many concepts also. So technically, if you do one concept a day, you will finish Quant in 100 days and more. In fact, you can do twice that time. That's the beauty of it. Anyway, let's continue. If this is the subdivision of the area, what should I do? What should I do to become good in Quant? Much before getting into those 6 areas, I would want, if I were a student preparing for CAT, these 2 basic ingredients of Quant are absolutely required. In fact, they are required for DI also, by the way. In fact, the whole of speed maths is required probably for your data interpretation. I am writing it here, DI here, but data interpretation also, it is very, very important that your basics of speed math are good. Basic Quant foundation like classification of numbers, even numbers, odd numbers, real numbers, rational numbers, irrational numbers, prime numbers, co-prime numbers, composite numbers, whatever way in which Quant foundation, basic Quant foundation which you have done in your 5th standard, 4th, 5th and 6th standard will be important of your school, by the way. Indices, basic indices, powers, a to the power b to the power c kind of things. Logarithms, basic logarithms, not using of tables. Functions, basic functions and basic polynomials. Again, I am not looking at any concepts. You understanding this, which will be required for your Quant. And then speed mathematics, tables up to 19 into 20, 19 ones, 19 twos, 19 threes up till 19 19s. That is what you need to have. Squares, not squared, squares up to 30 and cubes up to 12. That means you should know that 12 cube is 1728. Archita, you will have, I am declining your request for annotation, friend. You can ask me this question later on. Squares up to 30. So 30 square is 900, my mistake. You will need to you need to remember these squares absolutely like this. This is one sentence I'm going to make, very important and potent statement. It is not that you cannot calculate, let's say 27 square. You can calculate 27 into 27, you can calculate. But the difference between the guy who gets a 99 percentile and a 75 percentile is the 99 guy remembers the 27 percentile automatically. Whereas the person who is a 70 percentile or a 75 percentile guy will have to calculate 27 into 27. Same is the case with fractions. You need to know from 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 2 by 1 by 4, 1 by 5, 1 by 6, 1 by 12 up to 11 by 12. Ankita, you are raising a hand. Just hold on if you have a question, unless you are not able to hear anything. Srinivas, just check. There is one girl, Ankita, who is raising her hand. You can message a sentence to her saying what the problem could be. Speed addition and subtraction. Faster your addition, you will save crucial seconds in the exam. Conversion of fractions into percentages. Believe me, this is again very, very basic requirement of Quant. If you can do this much, believe me, this is something which I want you to do it on a daily basis. 10 minutes. We'll talk about that as we go along. If these basics are done, and it's not that you will ever be ready for it. You write down on a sheet of paper all your tables, keep that sheet of paper in your purse or in your pocket and keep looking at that tables on a regular basis, or the fractions on a regular basis. Every day, 5 minutes you look at it, 10 minutes you look at it, you will start becoming very, very familiar with these numbers. You become friends of these numbers and fractions. Okay, so basic ingredients of quant, these are the two things which I expect, friends, that you have to do that. Okay, that's where we start off in terms of the preparation as such. Now, what else do we do? Of course, what we did till now is, I said these are the areas. Let's look at these areas. But before I look at these areas, every topic, how do you prepare for a topic? How do you prepare for a topic? Where do you prepare from? I said there are 21 topics as we looked at it. If I just look at this, I said there is an equations ratio proportion, there is a percentages, etc. Right? There is a progressions, there is a functions and graphs. How do you prepare for this topic? If I take a single topic, how do I prepare for this topic? I am going to elucidate a very, very step-by-step process of doing this. A very simple step-by-step process. First, what you do? Read the basics of that topic. Read the concept of the topic. Let's take an example like prime numbers. What are prime numbers? Why is one a prime number or not? 2 is a prime number, the only even prime. Then you say that what is the co-prime? Then you look at what is the relationship between primes and co-primes. Just one basics of what is. How do I represent a prime? Can a prime be represented as 6k plus 1 and 6k minus 1? 3 or 4 ideas about a prime concept. That's a prime number concept. That's a word. Because if you read the basics once, very slowly, in fact, there's one more thing I'm saying. When I'm saying reading, I would recommend very strongly that you have a notebook for formulae. On our VistaMind app, those of you have it on Android phones, you can download the VistaMind app. In that VistaMind app, there is a entire PDF for all formulas of quantitative ability. You can use it directly, but I would suggest do not do that. You can use it later on to check whether you have got all of them or not. But you should definitely make your own notebook of formulae and concept. Because once you write it down anything, you will remember it much better. Read the basics concept, then solve examples for each of the basics and concepts. So if there are questions which have concepts, average speed is a concept. Do 1 or 2 examples from the average speed, maybe worked examples itself. Somebody has given you in a booklet or anything which has been worked, or you can refer to your class notes and read that again. Solve the exercise given in your handout. If you are a VistaMind student, there are outsiders also in this seminar, therefore I am keeping it a little general, but if you are our student, you know that you are getting handouts for every topic. Solve that. There are 2 exercises in the VistaMind. One is the classroom exercise that we have given you. So redo those classrooms, whatever you have done it. Plus, there is a practice exercise which is almost a replica of your handout. The idea is every concept and every exercise of that topic you would have done twice, which is good enough for you to remember. Then comes, what should I do if I am not able to solve? It happens once in a while that for 10 questions, you spend maybe 3-4 hours for 10 questions. But that's fine. That's fine the first time around. If you're unable to solve the question, at first, give at least 5 to 10 minutes even per question to solve. Only if you can't solve it, then see the solution. If you can't understand the solution, pick up your phone, send a WhatsApp to one of our faculty members, and they will help you. Surely, of course, you should be a student of ours. I'm sorry about it. I'm also, making it a marketing plan. But the fact is, you send a WhatsApp, we will see that, or send a mail to us of that question. within some time, probably one of us will respond very, very quickly to you, so that that concept is understood by you thoroughly. You continue. Okay, if you are not able to find that guy, leave that question for that moment, go to the next question, next concept, so that once you finish one topic, accumulate all the questions, and at one go meet the faculty, meet the mentor. If you're already working, if you're already going to some other coaching institute, that's fine, that's absolutely fine. Go ahead and ask the teacher to explain this. Remember one thing, material availability is huge. Everywhere there is free material available. That's not going to get you anywhere. What's going to get you anywhere is if the concept gets driven down into your brain so that you don't forget it ever. Then, once you finish these things, you finish the concept, you finish the exercise of one topic, then take the test right away. Take the test right away with a time limit of that particular topic. If you are a VistaMind student, every topic has two tests. Take at least one test immediately after doing the exercise. Review the marks and redo some of the concepts which you might have gone wrong. This is important. You test, review the test then and there. You will know, and if there are solutions which you have not understood or questions which you got wrong, or you have not attempted a question, go ahead now and attempt that extra question which is outside the time limits, probably after the test is taken. But review the marks and redo some of the concepts which have gone wrong for you. Every topic, there's 21 topics that I have laid down there. You need to do it in this manner. You can easily do it, friends, because each topic will not take you more than 2 to 3 hours. Some topics may take you 4 or 5 hours. Some topics will take you less hours. But I am going to put up a plan of how will you use it also. How many hours are required for a particular topic. This may go up or down depending on your stage of preparedness and your stage of fear for that exam. If an area you are comfortable, you will take less time. If your area not comfortable, you should do it more for a longer time as such. An IITian, I'm not saying that IITians are brilliant, but a good IITian or an engineer normally is better off. Therefore, for a particular topic, he may want only 2 hours. You may be a BA in English. You will be, you're afraid of quant. So instead of 2 hours, you might have to spend 6 hours for the same topic. That, friend, is a decision that you have to do. That is one thing you have to do if you want to become as good as this IIT guy. But mind you, he will be worse off in an English, where to improve vocabulary, to improve reading speeds, he will take a lot more time than it will take for a quant area. This is a challenge for him. I'm telling you, it's a guaranteed thing. So do not despair if you are bad in quant. You will spend more time in quant for preparation. Somebody else who is supposedly good in quant will spend less time there, but he has to spend time in elsewhere in a verbal area. Okay, keep that in mind when we go into the next one. So I have made a 100-day plan for you. It could be 120. It could be 120, doesn't matter. Again, all questions will be done at the end of this session, another 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then I will open up for all the questions. Okay, 100-day plan. First round, 30 days. First round, 30 days. What should be the target? I'm using 30 days, but it can go up to 45 days for some of you. It can go to 45 days for some of you. One second, guys. Okay, now it's fine. So if you can have 45 days for some of you, that's why I've put it till mid-August. If you notice, I've also said today is June 21st. Fair enough. Even if you want to, if you can finish faster, great. The next 30 days starting today or starting tomorrow morning. But make sure that the target at the end of your July would be what is the objective that you need? The objective is very simple. Familiarity with all topics, familiarity with concepts and formulae. When you see a question at the end of July in the smart cat, in the mock cats, you should not feel, oh, I do not even know what this topic, where this topic is, which topic is it from, kind of things. That should not be the way to, that should not happen. So the only objective that I'm asking you to do for end of July is get familiar with all topics, concepts and formulae, which means to say you need to go through all the topics, all the 21 topics that I have laid down once reading, solving the exercise. You should do it. That doesn't mean you'll become better. That doesn't mean you will be maybe 40% good in that. That's all. That's okay. That's absolutely okay. 40% good is 40% marks out of 35. 40% marks out of 35 buys is 14 marks. You are already getting very, very decent marks. You understand that? 40% of 35 is 14. Remember this. 14 threes are 42 marks you will get straight away if you are 40% good also. That's the plan. Anyway, the second objective while you're doing this 30 days is speed math every day 10 minutes. You are also sharpening your brain, sharpening your calculation speed. So you need to do this while you are adding your concepts. And these 30 days, make sure that every topic, at least one test, every topic, at least one test you do finish. That means minimum 25 topic tests you would have done in the next 30 days. Typically, therefore, I am saying you will finish almost one topic a day kind of things. You can take 2 days, one topic also, 2 days, one topic also, and make it 45 days. But I am giving you as a broad plan of 30 days. I am also now going to give you my recommended number of hours, for each area, not topic. For example, arithmetic. You may need 10 days for arithmetic at least. It can go up to 15 days, and for these 10 days, you will need 30 hours of preparation. In other words, I'm expecting 3 hours per day for this arithmetic. If you have more time, great. If you have less time, well, it might be a slight problem, but I am saying arithmetic, you will need approximately 30 hours of preparation. 10 days for these areas. Numbers and number theory, 3 days at least for about 8 to 10 hours. It's a single area, very important area, but it might just take you 3 days for this. Remember, arithmetic had 7 topics. So on an average, one topic a day you can finish. Simple interest, compound interest, definitely less than 1 day. Percentages 1 day. Profit and loss 1 day. Averages 1 day. Time and work also 1 day. ERPV may be 2 days, and time and speed and distance may be 2 days. That's what you're talking about. 9 to 10 full days of 3 hours each. Once again, let me reiterate this. For some of you, it may not be 30 hours, it may be 60 hours. Fair enough, guys, you should do it. For some of you, this 30 may be only 10 hours because you are very good at it. You are arithmetic. So I'm giving you a range. That's why even I'm saying it's not necessarily 30 days only. Exactly. There are 7 days is what I think you will require for. But not necessarily 21 hours, but 16 to 17 hours is more than sufficient. Geometry and mensuration again is a very important topic with a lot of concepts. I just said there are straight lines, there are triangles, there are quadrilaterals, there are circles. So each area, don't do it in one single day. Do it in 1 day only. If my voice is breaking, I am going to repeat whatever I am saying once again so that you do not miss out. Okay, so geometry and mensuration will need 3 days for doing 4 basic concepts: straight lines 1 day, triangles 1 day, and then quadrilaterals and circles 1 day. About 8 hours of preparation for this. Pure mathematics, again about 5 days because there are more topics as such. 12 hours at the max. And others, just to make sure that you don't miss out, 30 days. I'm saying 30 days, friends, just also realize 30 days can go up to 45 for some of you, and your 80 days can go up to even 120 if required be. But please understand, you can finish this in 40 or 45 days, and that is what I am looking at it. End of July is 40 days from today. 1st of July is 40 days from today exactly. You start tomorrow, you can first. And remember, my expectation is not that you will start cracking areas. My expectation is not even that you will get 100 marks. My expectation is that probably you will know all 35 questions in the quant section when you are taking a mock. That's all. Familiarity. If once you get the familiarity, believe me, you will be much better off because the second round will be a redoing of the same thing. Second round will be doing the same thing again. The familiarity becomes, much more, and you will start doing much better in the mocks also. But the first step, quant, is doing all topics at least once. Those who have started late for your quantitative, classes, let's say you have joined coaching only yesterday, doesn't matter. From your side, you finish one round. When the classes happen, it is only going to help that you will remember this much better. You will become much better in the one. So remember this always, that okay, I have just switched off my video for some of you, because if you are not able to clearly listen to me, it might just be a easy thing for you. Okay, so make sure that you do this the first 30 to 40 days from today. Then we look at the second round, that is the next 30 days. Here, either you're able to listen or there is a problem. Okay, you're able to listen. Just one second. Okay, just one second, guys. Okay, fair enough. I think most of you can, I guess, is what I'm getting the information fine. So second round is very clear that you will do. Now today we are talking about June. End of July or mid-July, if we can finish one round of doing all areas, the second round will finish in August or at least mid-September. Objective is very simple. Practice from the same area and take more topic and sectional tests. Once again, the same number of hours or maybe a slightly less number of hours is more than sufficient for the next 30 days. In fact, the number of days may be same, but the number of hours can reduce. Instead of 80 hours, it could be in 60 hours or 50 hours in the second round is what my recommendation will be for the second leg of your preparation. That's very important. What else is required? Every day continue to do your speed maths. This is something I am again and again saying it. Lots of you have to get comfortable with numbers, with fractions. Because once you are that, with the tools for getting marks are good, you will become much better. you will become much better in solving the same questions. So remember, every topic, every question in CAT requires two levels of ability. One, understanding the question correctly. What do you want to do with this? Do you know how to do it, kind of things. Second is doing or solving this fast. Hence, I'm saying speed math is something which is a rigor. It's like your daily brushing your teeth. Daily 10 minutes is a given. Maybe 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening. It's like your 5 minutes of brushing morning, 5 minutes of brushing evening. Probably you will get your speed maths done every day. But do it. Anshul Maru, wait for the next 10 minutes, friends. 15 minutes. I'll let you ask all questions after that. Then in this second round, now in the first round you would have done topic wise tests. Here you take area wise tests. Area wise tests after finishing arithmetic. So you take one full area test, saying figure out which are the topics within the area you are still not so good at. Review them once again, obviously. Area wise tests will give you your comfort zone with arithmetic, comfort zone with geometry, the comfort zone with let's say algebra, etc. kind of things. Then the last round is end of October. So mid-September to mid-October or end of October, you should ideally finish this 45 days. Looking at 40 days, notice 100-day plan is 30, 30 and 40. You can extend it to 45, 30 and 45 because we still have that days. But I'm saying depending on who you are, when you have started your preparation, this can be changed. If you have already prepared once, then 30, 30, 40 is the perfect thing. If you are starting today, then the same 100-day should become 130 days. It's 45, 30 and 45. But what is the target at the end of October? The idea at the end of October should be that you should know by now, what are your strengths and weaknesses. Do not leave topics now. In fact, lots of people ask me this question, sir, I am not good at permutations and combinations. Can I leave that topic? No, you don't leave the topic today. Go through that for 2 days that I'm asking you to do. Basics at least. End of 2 rounds of preparing, let's say you are still bad at it, then you can leave it. You can say, okay, boss, maybe in the exam, if the question is not easy, I will then leave it. That's the way to tell it. But that finalization, whether you want to leave a topic or not in the exam hall, you will do it only in October, not in June or July. Keep that in mind, guys. So topic wise, everything, give it a shot to read the basics at least once. Read the concepts, solve one exercise at least without fail. Remember this, that in the CAT exam, there will always be easy questions. In this last 30 days, in this third round, take full sectional tests of 35 minutes, of 35 questions. We will give you sectional tests for VistaMind students any which way. We will give you topic wise, we'll give you area wise, we'll give you full sectional tests. In other words, you are taking this, it's a subset of your full mock CAT. Make sure that in the last 30 days, you read all the smart CAT or mock CATs that you're doing from the questions topic wise. In fact, here is where, in fact, I'm going to talk about the last 40 days of your CAT very specifically in 40 days or 50 days before the exam also. But you need to realize one simple thing, that when you have finished 1 round of preparation or 2 rounds of preparation completely, then the 3rd round of preparation, then let's say you're taking up quantitative, let's say you're taking up time, speed and distance. You will now do time, speed and distance review, take a topic test, take an arithmetic test, and then for time, speed and distance, go through all the questions which have come in, all the tests that you have done till then. Okay, that's important to understand. It's important to understand that you then go through all the smart CATs at that point of time, the questions from the smart CATs topic wise. Okay, so here is where the 3 levels of planning, one very quickly to recap on. One, boss, from now onwards till 100 days, 30, 30 and 40 if you do, round 1 in the first 30 days, round 2 in the next 30 days and round 3 in the last 40 days, where you will go through every question, starting with familiarity with concepts to ability to solve more questions and then strategize what you want to solve or not solve in the actual exam. That should be your plan of action. This 30, 30, 40 for people who are absolutely starting off today would be 45, 30, 45. Simply because in the first 45 days, you will take more time to do the same 21 topics which I have discussed about. If you are worried, this entire video will be there on YouTube and as well as on the VistaMind website. You can go back to it, etc. kind of things. Every week after a smart cat, review questions from at least 2 topics at that point of time, so that you will be absolutely comfortable with those 2 topics for that 1 week. Remember, in the last 45 days, you will be doing at least 8 mocks. That's what I'm saying. So 8 mocks you will be able to review almost 16 to 20 topics one more time completely. This is the preparation plan. You need to also understand that you need to continue doing the speed maths every day till the date of your exam. The next part of it, obviously, once you understand how the preparation is done, is the strategies for attempting quant in CAT. I'm going to take 3 more slides here, friends, before we finish this, so that I will actually throw it open for all questions. But remember that all the preparation is one side, attempting the exam, the way it should be attempted, is another side. The IIMs, as I already told you, are not going to ask you to become great mathematicians. You are given marks for picking up the right questions to solve, the easy questions to solve. You will realize that every question can be divided into 3 areas: easy, medium, or difficult levels. How do you realize that something is easy, medium, or difficult? When you are reading the question, put a pencil on your paper and make a diagram or an equation after reading the question. If you're able to make this equation, diagram of that question, then you will decide whether the question is easy, medium, or difficult. How do you decide it's easy? An easy level question is a one where the moment you read it, you are very familiar with the question. You know the formula to be used. You have seen this question before, and you know that you can solve it within less than 2 minutes. This is the easy level. When you are solving in the preparation level, do not worry about timing yourself. Don't bother about timing yourself for every exercise. Solve question by question, how much time it takes. But in the exam, if you are able to solve within 2 minutes, or if you think you can solve within 2 minutes, that is what an easy level question is. What would be a medium level question? You are familiar with the question, of course. Otherwise, it will not be medium. You know the formula and the concept, but you think you can do it. In the easy level, you can solve it. You know, it's very familiar. You can't miss out. It's an obvious question. But in a medium level question, you think you can do it, but you're not very sure whether you can do it in 2 minutes or so, or whether you can actually solve it. These kind of questions in the CAT, you should mark them for solving later, ideally. Ideally. Of course, that depends on which strategy we are taking up. And the last, of course, is difficult, easiest questions to solve. You are not at all familiar or vaguely familiar. You cannot immediately recollect which formula or concept to use. You think it can get lengthy. Skip such questions in 30 seconds. Skip such questions in 30 seconds. I told you, it's the easiest ones to do. Initially, when you write your smart cats or your mock cats, you will have a lot of these easy questions. So to say, difficult questions which you can skip. But as you go along, you will see that there will be a lot more questions which you can solve than the ones which you want to skip. But you will decide that in the first 30 minutes. In fact, I'm saying this is important, friends. You will decide only after 30 seconds, not 50, only when you put pen on paper. While reading the question, you will put pen on paper and decide on this. That is important. Is that clear? Once you have understood what is this, then you look at the two strategies in next two slides that I'm going to talk about. My strategy for quant section in CAT, which is in right now, is there are 35 questions. You give 56 minutes for this. You give 56 minutes for these 35 questions. In other words, you have 29 minutes for the other 15 questions, mind you. 15 questions of data interpretation, you will have 29 minutes to make sure that you have totally 85 minutes. You can give more than that, that's a different issue. Strategy 1. Strategy 1 is very simple. Divide the 35 questions into 7 sets of 5 questions each. Normally, all 35 are given one after the other. So 7 sets you have, and 7 sets, 5 questions each. So 5 into 7 is 35. So each set has only 5 questions. And you are going to give now 8 minutes for every 5 questions. 8 minutes for every one set. Remember, we are giving 56 minutes. So there are 8 sets of 7 minutes. Sorry, 8 minutes of 7 sets of 8 minutes each. So 7 sets of minutes that you will take. In other words, 8 minutes, 5 questions you will give. In this, now you are converting the entire paper into 8-minute papers. Do not worry about what is going to happen later, what has happened behind. Your concentration should be 8 minutes, 5 questions. Can I do any of this 5? Read, put easy, solve it, maybe medium, also solve it, difficult, skip it. So out of the 5 questions, there may be 1 or 2 difficult questions, 1 probably, leave it, try to do 4, maybe try to do 3 at least. 1 or 2 will be easy, 1 or 2 will be medium. You will finish in 8 minutes. There is no getting back from these to these 5 questions after the 8 minutes. In 2 minutes, quickly read all 5 questions if required be. There's another choice. Decides which ones to solve and solve them in 6 minutes. 3 or 4 questions at the max. You can solve, as I said, between 2 to 4 in the next 6 minutes. So even 2 minutes are not required. Quickly read 4 questions. You are not even putting pen on paper. You are knowing which area the paper is from, and you will be able to take a decision very, very quickly. Once you decide quickly, I don't want to do it or don't want to do it, then get to solving the questions. Fair enough? That is strategy 1. This is all of you. I'm telling you, there are 2 strategies I'm giving you. Try one of these 2 strategies in the next few exams, next few mocks, or next few sectional tests that you write, and check yourself whether you are able to. If you're able to do it, great. If you're not able to do it, change the strategy. But try this strategy. There is another strategy. Same thing, 35 questions to be solved in 56 minutes. But here the strategy is in 2 rounds. The strategy is in 2 rounds. First round 30 minutes, second round 26 minutes. In round 1, solve all easy questions and mark all medium level questions. In the way I did, you read one question. If it is less than 2 minutes you can solve it. If you feel it is difficult, mark it. If it's solvable but later on you will want to solve it, mark it. And if it is a difficult question, skip it. So it is solve, mark, skip. That's the plan. Solve, mark, skip. SMS. 3 questions. 3 questions, you can probably solve 12 questions in the first 30 minutes. Maybe not more than that. But the important thing is, in the 30 minutes, every question you have read, all 35 you have read, you have solved 10, 12 and marked about 10, 15 or 12, 15 questions. That will give you, saying that, okay, at least you are now avoiding all the difficult questions. One of the big writing mocks or exams is that you don't read all questions, therefore you miss out on easy questions. In both the strategies, I am ensuring that you definitely read every question. Is 25-26 minutes. In round 2, solve all the marked questions that you have done. The logic here is, once you know your mark, you know what mark. Remember, even before marking, you know that you can solve it. You know that you have already made the diagram for yourself. Remember, so that 30 minutes will take you for every question. More than sufficient, but it's much more easier now solve in the next 2 minutes, because in other words, you are spending about 2.5 minutes. Here again, one very important point of caution. If you are not able to get a question there, whether it is easy or medium level difficulty, but in the exam, you thought it was easy, but you are not getting the answer. Bold, font 14, Arial black, skip the question. Remember this. If in the exam, any test you are writing, after the first 30 seconds you thought you will solve it, and in the next 2 minutes you did not get the answer, skip. Arial black, font 14, font 28, bold. That's the way it should be. You have to skip. This is where I was talking about the egos of people, egos of this brilliant engineers who think they are God's gifts to mankind. Okay, I'm talking about myself also, by the way. I'm also an engineer. All my teachers are engineers, unfortunately. But guys, friends, get out. Your idea is to get that mark, not to show that you are a Turum Khan, Thop Khan, etc., that you can solve it. Understand that very clearly. If you have time, solve any unmarked questions. Solve any unmarked questions. 2 clear things that I'm telling you in this thing. I'm almost to the end of my 1 second, guys. I'm just making sure that you can see me, all of you, once again. I'm almost come to the end of my session, but what I want you to understand is very simple. You have come to the end of this session, but quant can be solved. Quant requires consistency. Quant requires a plan. Quant requires a little less fear that you have today. Do it in 3 rounds. Start today. You will be able to do it comfortably, get the 100 marks without much ado. However, preparation is one level. The other thing is very importantly the strategy. The 2 strategies I have given you are going to help you reach there much more. Because without strategy, without going in with a right strategy, you will make a mess of your exam, because you may spend more time than you require, or you get stuck in questions. Once you decide on these, you know that okay, you are under a tremendous pressure to go to the next one. Okay, just 1 second, friends, if you don't mind, just a second. Just a second, if you don't mind. I'll just pause the recording. Okay, so I was saying these are the ways in which we can go ahead and do this. So, given that today we are only on June 21st, the way to approach this kind of a thing is to first give it the serious shot. If you don't, you will obviously you're obviously not going to make it anywhere good or top. That's point 1. Point 2, we at VistaMind are going to be continuously helping you, those of you who require, on a regular basis. You are my student. There is no doubt about it that we will leave absolutely no stone unturned to help you to learn quantitative ability completely. Now, I'm not talking about just quant, but other areas too. But since this is quant, I'm going to restrict the discussion to this. Second, what is also important is when you want to prepare, you need to prepare it from the right material. So this is where we thought it's the right time to kind of reach out to those people to ensure that you are taking CAT very, very seriously. Remember, you need to respect CAT. You need to respect an exam. If you don't respect an exam, you will not make it, friends. But make sure that you give it the best shot. Yesterday, I was talking to it. To be successful, you need to have only two things. One, the right attitude to succeed. That's saying that, okay, come what may, I want to make it. The second, of course, is discipline. You need to be disciplined in your plan. The next 4 months, if you put in serious effort, I am guaranteeing you that the next 40 years of your life will be great. 40 is a long time to become comfortable with to spend the time today in the next 4 months. Everything else can stop. Your movies, your WhatsApp discussions, your girlfriends, your boyfriends, anybody, all of them can stop at this stage in your life. They have to understand that you need to crack the exam. Once you crack, let me assure you that the world will come back to you and be at your feet. Keep that in mind, and we at VistaMind are going to be continuously helping you. I'm going to open this up for all kinds of any kind of a chat that you need, and we will answer. Before that, very, very quick information for those of you who do not know us. My team, VistaMind team, my name is ARKS Srinivas. I'm an IIM Calcutta graduate with more than 18 years of experience in training for CAT. Rahul is my partner and classmate again from IIM Calcutta. Raghunath sir, those of you from Chennai and who have been attending online will know him completely. A. Srinivas, the person who has been in touch with you, who's sending messages right now on the chat for you right now. He is an IIM Indore graduate, 2010 pass out, who's also the online coordinator for all CAT courses, all courses of VistaMind. Nishant is my IIM Kozhikode, again a partner. Ankuran, IIM Bangalore, heads Calcutta. Geeta and Nirmala are English faculty members. Bala, Madhuri, in fact I have not written Ajay sir's name. These are all, we are here to help you every bit of your preparation for CAT and ZAT and every other area too. Okay. What do we offer for those of you who have not started preparing and or joined some other classes but want some kind of an help in Quant? Okay, there's a couple of things that I'm telling you. Why would you want to join VistaMind? Look, not for study material, not for mock CATs or just online tests, because these are going to be given. These are given. They are good, and we will make sure that they are as good as it's required by any institute in the country. But the reason why VistaMind could probably be is that you will get the best team. Spend a little time on this team, Google search on it, challenge you. There is no better team which can I'm saying it's not just one individual, but there's no team which can kind of stand up to this team for this in this country for sure. It's a challenge. Anybody can take it up. Second, we will give you. We are of course new as VistaMind. We're just 3 years into this. We want to be number one. Hence, we'll put in 200% effort to be the mentors for you to make sure that you make it to the IIMs. So you will recommend us. We use the best technology, both WebEx, Cisco, we use WhatsApp, we use mails, whatever is required, so that convenience for you to make it there. And our commitment is not just for CAT, our commitment is for your career as such. Any problems, we will address it immediately. That's our promise and that's our commitment. What do we do? Our VistaMind program, because it's a Quant class, I thought I'll also talk to you about this. Our Quant only online program is also available for people, not the full CAT program. People have already joined, as somebody said, some of you have said, but I can guarantee you that this Quant only program, which is carried out only in the night at 9:30 in the night, will be very, very useful for people preparing for CAT. It's a 60-hour program only, all online classes in the night at 9:30 onwards, 9:30 to 11:30. Each day, 2 hours over the next 3 months. 50 topic-wise tests. For all the tests, there are 2 tests at least minimum. 10 area-wise tests so that you are comfortable with each of the 6 areas or 5 areas. Basically, we can remove miscellaneous. 5 sectional tests apart from 20 smart CATs, full-length smart CATs. If you do what I am telling you to do on a regular basis, diligently, assiduously, with seriousness, sincerity follow, you will get a 99 percentile in quant without much of an ado. We also have other programs, guys. We have a full-time program at our centers in Calcutta, Chennai, Bangalore. It's a hybrid class, full-time classroom program plus online. It's the first India's online program, hybrid program, online full-time program, online repeater test program for people who are writing the CAT again. Verbal only online program also with about 40 hours of preparation, smart cats and discussion only. And of course, we have some program called workshops, specific workshops on quant and DI and verbal and smart cats. My team, I've already told you, but this is the contacts at VistaMind. My name is ARKS, ARKS Srinivas, ARKSS at VistaMind.com is my email ID. The gentleman who has been messaging you, A.Srinivas, is A.Srinivas at VistaMind.com. And Rahul, I have just given you 3 names with the 3 numbers. You can WhatsApp us on our numbers too, without much problem. I am going to open this up for discussion, and you can mail me on my email ID or any of these email IDs or WhatsApp or call us. Calling us, give us time, send a message to us, we will call you. Otherwise, we will definitely be able to help you out very, very quickly. I'm also stopping the recording. This recording till here will be put up on our website for you for a re-recording or for a recheck if you need it, kind of things. All of you who have questions, please ask.